Barbershop conversation. So I want to talk about. I heard. I'm listening to Nipsey Hussle. Y'all got, man. Please stream that Nipsey Hussle album this week if you get a chance to. I was telling Antoine Foucault. You guys heard in an interview. That album saved lives, man. I'm willing to bet some gangster, some dope boy said, I'm going to try and make a change after listening to Nipsey Hussle album because it inspired me, and I'm a cornball. Quote unquote cornball, right? So I heard, man, 78 Black Fight Fan LDBC made some big moves yesterday. Deontay Wilder, baddest man on the planet. And Errol Spence, some might say the most feared man in boxing. He said something that was real telling, and I don't think Black Fight Fan in 78 caught it. He said the WBC testing. He says, I know nothing of it, never been a part of it, never been asked about it. You know why that's so telling? Because it leads us to believe that there is a plan in place. They don't want Errol Spence to invade the WBC rankings, and IBF don't want, and they want to keep them separate entities separate. Because if you look at the rankings at the IBF and you look at the rankings at the WBC rankings are far more notable as opposed to the IBF. So that's just. I was listening to how he said it. He knew nothing of it, and WBC wants no parts of what the IBF is doing. Errol Spence. And I think it's kind of choreographed. I don't know this per se, but I think this is choreographed. And I'm willing to believe that they don't want Errol Spence. This is just me. We want these fights. 100% we want these fights. They don't want Errol Spence fighting Danny Garcia. They don't want Errol Spence fighting Sean Porter. They don't want Errol Spence fighting Keith Thurman. Because if they wanted these fights, right, presumably a unification bout, he would be enrolled in the WBC clean boxing things. So you see the foreshadowing? They want, I don't know who they want Errol Spence to fight. Maybe it's the build up to a Terrence Crawford. Maybe it's maybe they want a clear, clean shot for Errol Spence when these guys get past their prime. I mean, the Danny Garcias, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, when he is, I mean, arguably the guy in his prime. I think Errol Spence is 27, 28. I don't know. I'm thinking from what people at the top are thinking. I'm not thinking in terms of what boxing fans are thinking, but it seems like it's a choreographed plan, right? Because it doesn't make sense that Errol Spence is not enrolled in the WBC clean rankings, because last year, before he beat Kell Brook for the IBF strap, he should have been in the WBC rankings, right? It makes all sense in the world that Errol Spence was a top 5 welterweight before he actually won the IBF belt, right? That makes perfect sense. So I can see legitimacy right now that he's not enrolled in WBC. But prior to last May, was it May 26th, May 27th, somewhere late May, where he fought Kell Brook, he should have been in the WBC ranking. He should have been in the WBC clean boxing program, because that should have been a belt that he should have wanted to acquire. But I think the way they're navigating Errol Spence, they don't want him on that side just yet. It's just me. I'm not saying he doesn't. I don't think no fighter is afraid of any fighter. I think fighters are more business savvy as they get older, and they, take the road of least resistance. That's just what I believe. But that was an interesting, telling statement that he said. And I wish Black Fight Fan or 78 would have caught it. Or if they did catch it, they just wanted to move forward with the conversation. But I thought that was real telling. I think it's exceptionally exquisite that they got Deontay Wilder moments after that fight. Um, I think is exceptionally exquisite. That Errol Spence took 40. That video was 42 minutes. I watched it all the way from Sam's house to my house, and I still had time left over because there was no traffic. But that's my son. We're about to go do our family due diligence for Easter. But I don't know. Did anyone else catch that in the comment section? But I thought that was real telling. They don't want this. They don't want one man to clear. Think about this. They don't want one man to clear out the PBC. Think about that. Think about this. Think about it. They don't want one man. They want a monopoly over. They want it widespread over boxing. Think about that for a second. Until they have a strong threshold, that's when I think that we'll see one man, one division. You get what I'm saying? Think about that for a second. I don't know. I'm hypothetical, but it makes sense because PBC has only been in existence 3 years. I don't know, 3 years. It was March of whatever year, 15, 16. The first bout was Robert Garcia, Keith Thurman, and Adrian Broner versus John Molina, right? That was the first splash on NBC, if I'm not mistaken. So think about that for a second. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations. These are just thoughts that I be having. But interesting though. Barbershop conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Talk to you guys soon. And April 21st is gonna be fun. Oh, everyone's gonna be in town. As I told you guys before that, I'll be covering Herd Lar. So if you see people on other interviews and you want me to ask them a question that you guys have, go to my Instagram, put the question in my Instagram box, and I will gladly ask them the question. It's going to be a real intimate setting. I'm literally going to run out of questions. Not literally, but I'm going to run out of interesting questions to ask because I'm going to have full access to these fighters because it's coming off a holiday weekend. It's not a highly anticipated fight. The core people will be there, and I will have full access to these fighters. I mean, 100% full access. So I won't have a problem getting a Herd. I will not have a problem getting a Lara, J. Rock Williams, Caleb, and James Nagel will have full access. So any questions you guys want to have from Paul and Malignaggi on down, because they're doing the fight. So it's going to be a beautiful weekend, man. Real intimate, real fun. I get to hang out with my boxing family for a weekend, and then in 2 weeks I get to do it again. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, and talk to you guys real soon. Peace.